Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin all your hopes and dreams for making big money on AI art. Yeah, so I've been doing this about a week now, just to get a taste of it, and I'm kind of an artist, not by trade, but by just by hobby and experience. Anyway, so I looked into it, and it turns out it's a grind. So bottom line up front, before you go down this path of folks saying, AI art, it's easy, turn it out and throw it on Etsy and make money, it's so easy, hundreds of dollars a month with little work. Bogus, man. It's a grind. So essentially, I jotted down some points. Grind, 90%, 99% garbage. I mean, a lot of it is based off of what prompt you put in there. And I say prompt, and there's vocabulary that you need to learn for this that really would help you improve your output. But in general, it's a lottery. Some lessons learned are you go on there, you find something you like in some of the history area or something like that of what people shared, or a gallery, and then you just try and reuse that as a starting point and go from there. I did that because there's a lot of variables that you can add, but those aren't required for getting what you need. It's just a lot of it just really seems to be based off of a lottery. I put a week in. Value your time. How much is your time worth? Your time isn't free. That's try and compare it to, if you're working or something like that. And I was working late nights. There's some nights I was 3 and 4 in the morning, and I get up and I just grind through it all day. It's interesting because it's almost like it's gamified, because as you're pushing the button, be like enter or generate, and then you're like, maybe this is it, maybe this is a winner. Trash. And it's just like every time you're like, maybe this is the one, maybe this is the one. But like I said, if you reuse somebody else's stuff that looks like it's about where you want to be, and you start modifying it, it's a good starting point. That's where seeds come in. This starts to get into vocabulary. I'm going to release a different video which actually goes through the vocabulary and explains more details. But this one is really just about trying to let you know of the challenges within this context when it comes to this whole kind of make money quick thing. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the intent was to say up front, bottom line is that to save you the time from a grind. So there's a learning curve if you want to generate different types of details and things, and a lot of the times if it's not garbage, it'll be pretty good, except for the man with 2 arms coming out of his head, and with ears for eyes and stuff like that. That's very common, the different pieces of the head in the wrong spots, and so if that's something you wanted to keep in there and not factor it out, then it's like regardless, you're going to have to use a third-party tool to fix this stuff. So it's like I think of like 99% of it is garbage. That 1%, you're going to have to clean. You're still going to have to clean like 95% of it, as far as fixing it up and doing more work on it. So it's work. Make no mistake. This isn't just a I want Superman flying to the moon, circling around the moon, stardust, sparkles, and rainbows, and then it just all shows up as you want. It's probably going to have a rainbow and Superman, and it's going to be gobbledygook, and you just think it's trash. And that's if Superman's head's even on right. But so that's kind of the bottom line up front. And I think it's really best for artists. So if you've got some skills and if you've got the ability to go that route, then you can go down that path, and I'll get to that in a second. So I'm just going to kind of hash through some of these things. So I mentioned it's a grind, 99% garbage, endless variables. But that's kind of a different path. That doesn't break the what you're searching for. It just gives it more context and stuff like that. But then it gets into lighting and specifics and filters and blah blah blah. But you don't need lighting and filters per se. But still, So then, what was the next point I wanted to hit on? People talk. Some folks are kind of selling this as a part-time gig, a side hustle. To me, I spent a week on it pretty in depth, and I feel like I've only got a taste of it because I don't think most of my stuff is really together, and it's almost like full-time to me is how it feels. So again, thus the learning curve and all that stuff. That's why I'm saying this is better for artists. The third thing I wanted to hit on, I already kind of mentioned it. The 95% is going to need modifications of that 1% that's actually good. Let's see. The fourth thing was, they talk about, folks talk about, you throw it up on a shop, Etsy or whatever, and then you sell it as a digital whatever. One, how many people are really looking for digital stuff? Some people, so I guess some people do buy them because some people are making money. But, think about it. I've got a laser printer at home, but still my laser printer isn't that great. It'll have little lines on it, so I'll be doggone if I'm going to print something off that I want to hang on my wall that has, little tiny hidden black streaks or whatever down it. So I'm still going to outsource it. So thus I would rather, if I was buying something, I'm going to want to buy it complete. But so that's not everybody. But so there is some market out there for this. I guess just when you think about that, you probably want to keep prices low. And on that note, if you do look into things, there's things like Printify, which they do what's called print on demand. And that's also, you can also think of it as a term as drop shipping, if you've heard that, which is essentially you're not investing in anything other than you're putting up that design, which you invest in. And then you're putting up the link on the shop, or you're putting a shop thing, and then it would be printed on demand, which sounds great, except example, I'm like, okay, I put a sticker out there, and Printify is like, the sticker, it's going to be $2 and something, and and it recommends a markup, and then I lowered it a little bit, and so it ended up $4.99 for the sticker. I think is a good price, and then it comes back and tells me it's going to be $4.50 for shipping. So we're looking at almost $10 for a sticker. No way. And then a lot of people will say, their prices are really not so great if you're going to do a print service, which I think is why some folks want to go digital. So then you'd have to buy it in bulk, which means you're not doing drop shipping, you're investing, and I think people are going to buy X amount of stickers, blah, 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 blah. So these are things to think about if you're going down this path. Again, I think even the worst thing is the upfront of just getting quality stuff out of an AI engine. I think you need to start with something quality, maybe that you started or did, and then want to expand upon it. Those things can be great at doing that. If, example, you take a photo, think of Starry Night, Expressionism. It's an Expressionist painting by Vincent van Gogh, and it's quasi-abstract, but you could theoretically, in some of these engines, I think on DALL-E 2, you could put it in, and you can do basically expand the painting, and what it'll do is you drag off to the side, and it allows you to, or it will AI generate more information and basically more of the painting. It'll just hypothetically make more of the painting as it would think that it would happen. Those capabilities are cool, and those are viable. It's where you're trying to get custom things, especially if they're realistic, that really don't work out well. So in the shop, setting up the shop, and putting all the metadata in and all the pictures and all that jazz. It's a grind, man. And there's idiosyncrasies like on Etsy when I try to upload files. It's like, file names are too long. They can't be that long. I'm like, dude, just crop them yourself. That. If they're design team, I work in software design, they could put some logic into the program to basically crop the names themselves and just rename the files and stuff like that. But it was silly. It's just like, we won't even look at this file because its name's too long. So it's just a lot of time wasting on building out these things for each one. Of course, there's always going to be an upfront investment, and that's okay if you're theoretically going to make money, but I'm just not sure how this is really going to pan out. And I think the last thing on here I had, and what niche are you meeting with your whatever you're producing? And some people mention that, and it's legit. You can make something like, oh yeah, that's cool, maybe I'll put that in a store, but it's like, would you buy that? I'm like, no. So it's like, do you want to waste time doing that? I mean, it costs you 20 cents a pop or something on Etsy, which really isn't much, but if you do a lot of AI art and you do hundreds of them and there are thousands, whatever, it starts to add up, and it's the time that's wasted, more so than the money. But it depends on the individual. But so these are just some kind of things to think about. So I just want to kind of let you know that I don't know that this is the greatest way to go if you're looking for a side hustle. The quality that comes out is too hit and miss, and I'm not big on playing lottery type stuff. There's plenty of if you're going to get out there and just try and sell art or something like that, art is a unique market, and that you want to hit somebody's specific style interest. So like I think you may be better off. You'll be more higher return on investment if you just like get some icons or clip art and stuff like that from Creative Commons, which is just like free clip art and stuff like that. That's not copyrighted, and use that with clever sayings and stuff, and do your t-shirts or art or pictures or whatever, and you get a lot less hassle, a lot quicker return on investment, and not have to deal with this stuff of having to edit something in Photoshop to take out the guy with 6 heads. That's so. I just want to share that. So I've heard a lot of positive. All you got to do is this, and it's easy money. It's not. So I wanted to share that, and I'm probably gonna put something out, basically trying to help understand some of the other idiosyncrasies when it comes to the variables, because most of these sites you'll see them in the when I say variables, there's a prompt, which is basically the spot where you type in what you want, and you say dog drinking water. It's very basic, right? But if you say dog drinking water, Unreal Engine, which you get into graphics filters, you'll see this in other people's stuff, and it'll be like indirect lighting, lighting from this angle, surrealist, or graphite and watercolor. You start to get into a lot of details, and you don't really know what to put there. And then there's a whole bunch of other categories on some sites where it offers all these different things that you can toggle, and it doesn't really tell you what each of them does. But there are sites out there that do explain them. It just really should be a better user experience on most of these sites, to stop you from just guessing and winging it and clicking something, and then something turns out completely different, and you have no idea why, and no idea is this particular tool better for this context. A whole bunch of settings, but anyway, I'll go to that in the different video. That's it for me for now. Just wanted to share that before you go taking the time to put into this. I hope you see this and give it a second guess, and kind of look at it slowly at first, rather than jumping in like with both feet. But if this helped you out, hopefully it did. Give me a thumbs up, that'd be great, and subscribe if you like. Anyway, take care. I'm out.